Welcome to Hemtextile 2026. We are sitting in the Nandan Towel Limited and we are talking to Mr. Sanjay Deva. He is the CEO of Nandan Towels. So, Mr. Sanjay, just tell me what is the innovation you brought in Hemtextile 2026? What is the new product you have launched?
We are working a lot. We worked a lot on sustainability options. So in terms of in towels, Zero Twist, a very basic product which has a PVA chemical into it. So we've developed a couple of options on sustainable size wherein this chemical does not go. The effluent treatment is much more easier, and we're working on those options. We have launched Elimax and Maxima as our own range, which is in-house spinning technology, wherein the lofter is as good as the Zero Twist yarns. And we are also working on regular Zero Twist without any PVA chemicals to them. So sustainable and go green is the mantra for the entire innovation team. Plus we work a lot of on design developments.
As you said, sustainable is your goal, and so what is your buyer's take on the sustainability?
I think it's not a take, it's the need of the hour. We have to do it. It's the way of the living going forward. We have to reduce our water consumption per kilo of towel we produce. We have to reduce our electricity consumption per kilo of towel we produce. So we keep struggling at the factory level. How do we make ourselves more efficient? As a group, we have invested heavily into renewable energy. So we are producing a huge amount of solar panels in India by the name of Grew Energy Limited. And so the entire group is very conscious about energy consumption, and we invest a lot in saving energy. We've converted almost 70% of our power consumption to solar and hybrid today. And similarly, we work on water, we work on other footprints to ensure that any kind of wastage is limited.
As you said that design is the core aspect of the home textile industry, the design market is driving. So what is the trend you had seen, home textile category, how the design is driven?
It's more the basic opening price point towels are also aspirational now. So we in the opening price point and mid-tier also we are seeing a lot of fashion towels coming in. Everyday luxury has become the way forward. So we've invented a lot of unique ways to give some fashion element to the basic towels, which earlier was not the day. They were hardly buyers were doing 6 to 12 colors as a solid program, but now they want a fashion element to everyday luxury. We are innovating a lot over there in terms of colors. It's a complete garment fashion, followed by the garment trends. So anything which is new in garmenting line is followed up in home fashion as well.
Okay. So what is your vision as a CEO for this company?
Honestly, we are on the expansion path right now, but because of the tariffs and the current scenario, we've slowed down a little bit. But the traction for the group is basically double our terry towel capacity. We are looking at some investments into a bedding unit with a asset light model. So we aspire to become a huge, unique stop as a sustainable range for the terry towel product, and then forte into the bedding line as well.
What is the growth of this industry as you see?
Honestly, home textile compared to the traditional textile is in a very good spot until the tariffs happened. Ideally, we were looking at 10 to 15% growth on a year-on basis, and that was a very easy way to go about. And that is what Nandan has grown over the years. Once the tariff is solved, I don't think so there is any looking back, and we can easily target a 20 to 25% growth only if the tariff solution is coming in. US is the biggest market for us. With the current scenario, we are holding fort. We've been able to partner with our customers in the US and mitigate the situation. We are able to continue with our customers and programs from the US, but we need to look at the growth factor.
What is the buyer sentiment for the buying capacity right now?
Honestly, the buyers also love India as a spot. The quality is right, the comfort level is right. They've been working with India for a long time, and that's the reason they are also pushing us to come up with innovative ways to try and minimize this entire scenario of the tariffs. So it's very important for both the companies to mitigate this situation right now. They need to come up with a trade deal which will benefit both of us. Otherwise, the entire industry will be in a tight spot. So without the tariff deal, the growth traction will be very slow. But yes, we are trying and developing non-US markets, which is very, very competitive. So India needs to go out and do FTAs with the European Union because Pakistan has a better benefit out there. We need to do a trade deal with the US government. With these, it will really, really impact the entire textile industry and there won't be any looking back.
So how was the response for the show?
It's been good. The non-US customers have been very supportive. They are interested. Price pressure is huge. They are looking for very, very competitive prices. But surprisingly, the business is there. Yeah, the buyers are walking in, the business is there. I wouldn't say that the demand has died down, but yeah, the demand is at a price which is very, very competitive.
So from which countries buyer has come?
We have a wide exposure. We were doing about 35% of our business to the US countries, US and another 35% to European countries. So we still are looking at growing in the European region more. We're looking at Far Eastern region as well in terms of Japan, Korea, Vietnam. We're looking at Australia, New Zealand to grow.
Okay. So in this exhibition, all the countries buyer has come.
Oh yeah, we are further participating in our next fair in February in Vietnam Expo in 26, 27, 28 Feb, and we're looking at capitalizing on that region as well in a stronger manner. The major traffic is from the European buyers in this fair, but yeah, there are a couple of customers from that region also, and we're looking to further capitalize on it in the Vietnam fair.
Asian customers also.
Oh yeah.
So what's the target like who has not visited or exhibited the show? What is your suggestion or advice to them?
See, people who have not visited, overall at Hemtextile, the American customers have started limiting their presence because immediately after Hemtextile, we have March Market Week in New York, which is more prominent for the US customers. So the Hemtextile is more of a window shopping for design development and product development from the Turkish vendors. So from a business perspective, I think it's more European centric. People who have not come in, if it's Australian customer, it's American customer, we will be meeting them in the March Market Week. We meet them in the September Market Week. So I don't think so. We miss out on the American customers now because we have follow-up meetings with them. And yeah, so I would see with more fairs happening region-wise, people prefer to attend more fairs. So like when we go to the Vietnam fair, we are expecting much more customer base from that region because it's a huge market for us.
So it's nowadays localized.
Fairs are happening because Messe at one time, Hemtextile at one time was the major fair for home textile. But now you have home textile centric fairs happening. You have a fair in Colombia after 2 months. You have a fair in Vietnam. You have fairs in UK specifically for home textiles. You have 2 market weeks a year. So a lot of regionalized exhibitions are happening. You have Bharat Tex coming up in 4 months. So there is a limit to the amount of fairs people can travel to and people can exhibit it.
So in this category, a lot of startups is also coming. So as a leader of the industry, what the advice and to give to young entrepreneurs who are coming to this industry?
If they're bringing in some kind of value chain, definitely. Most of the startups would be coming in with to add some kind of value chain. I've seen 1 or 2 startups who just want to bring us level of service, saying that okay, we'll manage the supply chain better. That's no addition of value. The business is already flooded. So if there is any kind of value chain in terms of R&D or in terms of recycling or upcycling or any kind of innovative technology over there which they want to blend, then it would be a successful mantra. But just establishing a better supply chain is not working way forward.
Thank you so much for your time and wish you all the best for that.
Thank you. Thank you.